You walk into a coffee shop you've never visited. You sit down, and then it hits you. This has happened before. The smell of the coffee, the hum of the music, the exact angle of the light through the window. You've been here. You're certain of it. Except you haven't. You know you have it. And yet the feeling is so real, so specific, that for just a moment, your brain and your logic are in total disagreement. That feeling has a name, déjà vu. French for already seen. And despite how common it is, around 60 to 70% of people experience it at some point in their lives. Science has only recently started to crack open what is actually happening inside your brain when it occurs. Today we're going to explore the neuroscience, the leading theories, what déjà vu tells us about how memory works, and why some people experience it far more than others. Welcome to Doc and Lock, where we help you make better decisions about your health. Let's get into it. Before we get into the science, it is worth being precise about what déjà vu actually is because it gets confused with a few related experiences. True déjà vu has a very specific quality. It's not just a vague sense of familiarity. It's the simultaneous awareness that something feels familiar and the knowledge that it cannot be. That tension, that contradiction between feeling and logic is the defining feature. You know you haven't been here, and yet it feels like you have. This is what separates déjà vu from simply misremembering something or genuinely revisiting a place. In true déjà vu, the rational part of your brain is fully online. It's saying, this is wrong, this shouldn't feel familiar. But the feeling persists anyway. It typically lasts just a few seconds. It can be triggered by almost anything, a smell, a sound, a visual scene, a fragment of conversation. And it leaves most people with a slightly unsettled, almost eerie feeling like reality briefly slipped. So what on earth is going on in the brain when this happens? The most widely accepted scientific explanation for déjà vu involves a glitch in the way your brain processes memory, specifically in how it handles familiarity. Your brain constantly does two things simultaneously. First, it processes what's happening right now, encoding the sights, sounds, and context of your current experience. Second, it checks that incoming information against your stored memories, asking, have I seen this before? Normally, these two processes work in perfect coordination, but déjà vu may occur when they fall out of sync. Specifically, the familiarity signal fires before the memory retrieval system can produce any actual memory to justify it. Think of it like getting a notification on your phone that says you have a new message. But when you open the app, there's nothing there. The alert went off by mistake. The feeling of familiarity fired, but there's no memory behind it. This theory is supported by research into the hippocampus, the seahorse-shaped structure deep in your brain that plays a central role in forming and retrieving memories. Brain imaging studies have shown that the hippocampus and surrounding areas are active during déjà vu episodes, and these are exactly the regions involved in detecting familiarity. Interestingly, people with temporal lobe epilepsy, seizures that originate in the memory processing regions of the brain, frequently experience intense, prolonged déjà vu as part of their seizure activity. This gives us a rare window into what happens when those memory circuits misfire in a more dramatic, observable way. A second compelling theory involves what researchers call divided attention, and it might explain why déjà vu can feel like it comes out of nowhere. The idea goes like this. Imagine you walk past a shop window while glancing down at your phone. Your eyes register the scene, the colors, the layout, the general feel of the space, but your conscious attention is elsewhere. Your brain records a fragment of that experience below the threshold of full awareness. Then, a moment later, you properly look up and take in the same scene with your full attention. But your brain has already processed a version of it. And that prior, subconscious registration creates the sensation that you've seen this before, because in a sense, you have, just a split second ago, on a different level of awareness. This would explain why déjà vu so often strikes in ordinary, unremarkable settings, walking down a street, sitting in a room. These are exactly the kinds of moments when our attention is most divided. It is a fascinating idea because it suggests déjà vu isn't really a glitch at all. It has your brain doing exactly what it is supposed to do, just picking up on its own very recent processing and misidentifying it as an old memory. Here is a third theory that takes a slightly different angle, and that's one of the most intuitive once you hear it. Your brain is constantly looking for patterns. When you encounter a new scene or situation, it rapidly scans your memory bank looking for anything similar. This is efficient. It saves your brain having to process everything from scratch every time. Usually, if your brain finds a match, you consciously recognize the memory. Oh, this reminds me of my grandmother's kitchen. But sometimes, the current experience matches the overall structure or feel of a past memory without matching any of the specific details. The spatial layout of a room might be similar, the general atmosphere might overlap. The emotional tone might echo something from the past, but none of the specifics quite line up. In these cases, your brain triggers a familiarity response. This matches something I know, but can't retrieve a specific memory to pin it to. The result is that floating, sourceless sense of having been here before. Some researchers think this is why déjà vu is more common in people with richer, more extensive memories. There are simply more opportunities for partial pattern matches to occur. It might also explain why travel can sometimes trigger déjà vu. New places often echo the general layout or feel of places we've been before, even without sharing any specific features. So, who is most likely to experience déjà vu? The research reveals some interesting patterns. Younger people experience it more frequently than older people, which is somewhat counterintuitive, since you might expect more memories to create more opportunities for misfires. One explanation is that younger brains are processing an enormous amount of new information and forming new memories at a high rate, which may increase the chance of these processing errors. People who travel frequently or are exposed to a wide variety of new environments report higher rates of déjà vu, possibly because novel environments create more opportunities for partial pattern matching. Fatigue and stress appear to increase déjà vu frequency, which fits with the glitch theory. A tired brain may be more prone to processing errors and misfires. Interestingly, people who watch more films and read more fiction also report déjà vu more often. One proposed explanation, consuming a lot of fictional worlds, gives your brain a richer library of imagined environments that real-world scenes might partially match. And as we mentioned, people with temporal lobe epilepsy experience déjà vu far more intensely and frequently than the general population, giving neuroscientists a crucial tool for studying the phenomenon in a controlled way. Before we wrap up, it is worth briefly touching on some related experiences that often get lumped in with déjà vu, but are actually quite different. Déjà vu, already lived, is a more intense version. Rather than just a scene feeling familiar, your entire sense of a situation feels like a replay. You feel you know exactly what is about to happen, what someone is about to say, what comes next. It's more immersive and often more distressing than typical déjà vu. It's also more strongly associated with temporal lobe activity. Then there's jamais vu, never seen, which is essentially the opposite of déjà vu. You're looking at something very familiar, your own name written down, a room in your own home, a word you've used 1,000 times, and it suddenly feels completely alien and unfamiliar. It's like the recognition system drops out entirely. Most people have experienced a mild version of this. Usually with words, stare at the word chair long enough and it starts to look like nonsense. Both of these experiences point to the same underlying truth: familiarity and recognition are not fixed, reliable systems. They're active, ongoing processes that your brain has to continuously perform, and like any active process, they can occasionally go wrong. So, here's the big picture. Déjà vu is not a mystical experience. It's not a glitch in the simulation. It has your brain's memory and familiarity systems momentarily falling out of step. And the result is one of the most distinctly strange feelings a human being can have. Whether it's a misfired familiarity signal, a split second of subconscious processing catching up with conscious attention, or a case of partial pattern matching without a specific memory to show for it, déjà vu is ultimately a testament to how complex and active your memory system really is. It's easy to take recognition and familiarity for granted. We assume that the sense of "I've seen this before" is straightforward and reliable. Déjà vu reminds us that it isn't, that your brain is doing extraordinary work every second to construct your sense of what's familiar and what's new. And occasionally, just occasionally, it gets it beautifully, eerily wrong. If you found this interesting, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your déjà vu experiences. And in the next episode, we ray looking at another strange trick the brain plays on us: why some memories feel more real than actual events that happened. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.